Salutations and welcome to Kindra's Corner. We have officially crossed the threshold and are now in the dark half of the year. The sun is bright, yet its light is distant. The air is crisp and the leaves have changed into a multitude of colors. There is no better time, no better season than to build a campfire and tell tales of terror or tales or a story of revenge from beyond the grave. And this is what I bring to you here today. I present to you the debut novel from the author Moira Ashe, Echoes of Betrayal. Now, I first reviewed this book a while ago. When it first came out, I obtained a copy on Kindle and read through it and gave it a review. However, Moira Ashe, as a thank you, had sent me a physical signed copy, thank you very much, for me to have. And of course, as you all know, I advocate for physical books. And I like not just to have physical copies in my library. I prefer reading physical copies. And of course, I will only present to you on this channel in this playlist, Kindra's Corner, physical books, physical copies of books. The only reason why I obtained a Kindle is because I don't know why Amazon Canada did not put the hardcover available right away to me, and when it did, the price again was ridiculous, and it wasn't the price it should be. Now everything's normal. You could obtain it all either on Kindle or on physical copy, and at a decent regular price if you're in Canada. If you're in the US, of course, everything is fine there. The price is fine, and you could get it on same thing, Kindle or a hard copy of it. But I was going to obtain the hard copy, but Moira was so nice and sent me physical copy, beautifully packaged, and I'll show this to you here. Now, before the video, I cut this so I wouldn't struggle with it opening it on screen. But look at this beautiful packaging, black and white, wax seal, this beautiful bookmark. I don't know if you all could read it. It says, so I'm going to try and get this right, where there's glare here, but let me see. It was basically saying that not all nightmares wait for you to sleep. I don't know if you could properly see that, but this is beautiful. The book is beautiful. We'll be getting to this shortly. What I want to say, though, where I'm going with this, is that when it first came out and I read the book, and I literally read it like from cover to cover, Kindle version of it, because I couldn't put it down. And it's an intriguing, atypical story. But my review might be, I realized it after I put a review up on Amazon. I put a review on Goodreads as well. And I refer to Echoes of Betrayal as being a haunting, sexy read, something like that. And I don't want to give the wrong impression because I thought about it afterwards. But I left my review up, obviously, because I knew I was going to do more of a detailed review here on this channel. This book is not a romancy kind of book, and it doesn't read like a romance, sexy novel. There is no romance in this book, and to be honest, the sexy, like when I say sexy, I mean it is Moira Ashe's writing style and how she executed this story. I would say it was executed in a sexy manner, but that's my way of describing it. It's not sexy in the literal sense, but it is sexy how the story unfolds and little crooked turns it takes and the little surprises within it. Now, Echoes of Betrayal does come with a little warning at the beginning, and it's stated that it is strictly adult material, is not to be read by anyone not of the legal appropriate age, for it is explicitly the details within the story, it involves sex and violence. Now, I fully agree, and it's good she put that. My only qualm is that maybe the disclaimer, maybe on the description up on Amazon, should come with a warning about the explicit, violent sex. It's not just separated. There is sexual content within here. It is extremely graphic and violent. And the reason why it should be, I feel it should be pointed out at the beginning in the description of Amazon book, is that when I read this, obviously I don't mind reading this, but I thought as some people who might have had in their life sexual assault, violence on them involving such actions might be triggered by this. So I would say that it comes with a trigger warning. Now, that aside, if that kind of material does not bother you, and it's not the whole book, there's just sections in this book, too specific in the first half of the book that might trigger some people who had bad, violent bodily harm, you could say, experience in their life in this matter. Violent intimacy, I don't know. I'm trying to choose my words because it's YouTube, and I know there's certain things you cannot say on here, and my channel's new, I don't want it flagged, but anyhow, I'll leave it at that. And if you don't have a problem with this, reading this, then go for it, because I highly recommend this book. Now, I'm going to open this up, and you can see the beautifulness. And when I also describe the book as being hauntingly sexy, it's also the aesthetic. And look, just how she sent this to me, like this was much nicer, of course, with this, and she sent me a nice little postcard thanking me for the review I left for her up on Goodreads. And the author of this book, Moira Ashe, seems to be such a sweet, sweet person, but then she's reading stuff like this. It's amazing. And I'm one of those people who try not to really destroy packages when I open them, which I didn't. But look at this gorgeous book. It's as pretty as the bookmark, you could say. But look at this. The cover is haunting. It's beautiful from front to back. Now, Moira Ashe, she is, like I said, this is her debut novel. Now, it's hard to believe that she has never written a novel before, just for the fact that she writes like a seasoned pro. And I have read books from seasoned horror authors that aren't half as good as this. Her wording is put together perfectly. Her descriptions of what's going on in the story, she describes the story, the outline of the story, ace. And she is so good that even though she had just put out this book, it's new under her belt, one book under her belt, new, that the Dark Veil Society has already accepted her. They took her in. That's how good she is. So yes, Moira Ashe is a member of the Dark Veil Society. And I know when I reviewed Corvina Sweeney's books, I mentioned Dark Veil Society. I want you to know I have nothing to do with the Dark Veil Society. I'm not a fiction author. and they are not sponsoring me in any way. Neither are the authors who I present on my channel here. No sponsoring, just me sharing the love, sharing what I feel, what I recommend, things I love from my bookshelf, my personal bookshelf, that I believe that fans of the topic I present will really enjoy. But look at this beautiful book, decent size for a novel. The book is divided into sections. Now, here's what I like about it, and I'm really trying not to give any spoilers here. However, okay, the main character when you jump into this book is Alicia. Now, Alicia does not all of a sudden after the first section is no longer the main heroine of the book, you could say, or main character, but yet there's an underline there that she still remains, but the focus switches off her. You could say her story ends. It doesn't fully end, but the main meat of her story at the beginning ends, and then it kind of just flows into another scenario involving someone else's point of view that is indirectly has to do with the first main character, Alicia. And I actually love what Moira Ashe did here. Is the story is not just written from the perspective and the mindset of the main character, for it switches, even in the first section, it switches from Alicia's mindset to then the views and mind of her husband, what's going in his mind about the situation that has been occurring between him and his wife, and this spectral being, and of course the woods. Oh, the woods. The woods is a main core of the story. They are haunting, they are mysterious, and not everyone wants to venture into them. The beginning of the book, Alicia is standing at the edge of the woods, and I won't give away the whole story, but it's been a long while, months, that she's trying on a regular basis to get herself to step into the woods. Now, it's not that she fears the dark, she fears the woods themselves, or any woods or darkness, but there's something about these particular woods. She is heavily drawn to it. It's alluring. There's something there that's pulling her to go into it, but yet her natural defenses are blocking her from going in. But of course, the story wouldn't get anywhere. She doesn't wander in, so she does. So it involves the woods and this orb of light, this phantom, and like I said, this book deals with the paranormal, but also a tale of brutal murder, which also involves possession. And then a mystery unfolds. There already is a bit of mystery with the woods, but like I said, once you get to the second section, it unfolds, and then you're seeing the story through the life, you could say, and through the eyes of a new main character. Even though Alicia and her husband and the woods and the spectral being, they're still there underlining. They're the underbelly of it. And this new character comes in, and then it's about her life and how indirectly, without her knowing at first, how her life is intermingled with the first half of the book, the first story. And of course, the woods. All about what's in the woods and what happened in the house where Alicia lives and where the new heroine of the book, or the new main character, years later moves into. And all the story and how it becomes a mystery. Because then the second character, she is trying to unravel a mystery about Alicia, about the woods, and about this home, this property. And everything intertwines. So it's a very interesting book. And just when you think, you're like, okay, this is it. It's the end. Then you realize, wait a minute. I'm not even halfway through the book yet. The story can't end here. Just like I solved the mystery, but have I? It continues. So very, very different. And the ending, I don't want to, that's what I'm trying to not give away here, is also very atypical. Now, this is a dark story, and dark in every sense of the word. It's dark in a satanic sense. No, that's involving Satanism. I mean the action of being satanic. The You could say that the mindset of it, of the story, the action of one of the main characters. Now, I do mention that there is murder involved in here. Well, first you're seeing, and I don't want to give away who is who, so I will not say the names. But however, first you're getting the view of the victim. But then after the fact, you're getting the thoughts and more insight about the murderer. And the murderer reminds me very much of, not exactly, but you can almost say that he reminds you of someone who would be related to or the brother of Norman Bates of Psycho. Like, just his mentality. It's like if Norman Bates of the original Psycho movie, or movies, I should say, had a brother that is maybe just a little bit, one step more psycho, one step more evil. This would be this guy. And then we get into the ghost, the spectral being, which Alicia finally communicates with, and she is a victim in every sense of the word. Now, you might think that Alicia is also a bit of a victim in this when you're reading the story. However, she got victimized, but she is no victim. And you got to read this book to know what it is I'm saying, or to know what I'm talking about. So, giving the authors a chance and give debut novels a chance, because you could be very surprised at what you end up reading. And this book is one to treasure. And I really look forward to more from Moira Ashe, because if this is her mind and what she pumped out for her first novel, what the hell can she do more? So I want more from Moira Ashe. Seriously. And Moira, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Sometimes I have a bit of an accent, even though I try to hide it. And I have trouble saying certain things. So I'm seeing your name as how Noira is spelt, but with an M. So I'm saying Moira instead of Noira. So I really hope I'm pronouncing your name right. If I'm saying it wrong, please let me know over on X or Facebook. And I'm going to link below where you could obtain this book on Amazon Canada, Amazon US, and Moira Ashe's website. Her website is gorgeous. It's hauntingly beautiful. No joke. I'm not just saying that to sound all flowery, dark. It really is hauntingly beautiful. Very poetic darkness is a good term for it. This book is poetic darkness with some brutality thrown in. It's brutal and poetic. And honestly, I saying this would be a great story to tell, long story to tell one day or evening around a campfire. But as I was reading this and the way the story unfolds in each section of the book, I could see it as a mini series or like almost of like a more modern day, little more mature in the horror side of things, Tales of the Crypt, like a Tales of the Crypt story or a creep show type story. But really, this I could see as a Tales of a Crypt story or movie, actually, a story in a Tales of the Crypt type thing. That's how I'm seeing it, and to just give you an idea of how it is, and it's gory. And when I say violent, like when I'm reading these violent scenes in here, I'm not just seeing it; I'm almost feeling it. You know, it's almost as if, wow, did I go through this myself? How it's affecting me? Because it does affect you. So I highly recommend this book, Echoes of Betrayal from Moira Ashe. Check her out and find her and other amazing authors, like I said, on the Dark Veil Society. Check out her website. Check out the links I'm going to put below. And keep an eye out. Maybe follow her on Amazon just to get heads up when her next novel comes out, whenever that will be. I haven't seen any posts of her about anything new coming out, but man, she just pumped this out. Like, let's let it brew a little, especially during this dark half of the year. This is the perfect fall or winter read. So that's it for now. I'll return with another book review next week. Next book will be on, well, I'm tossed up between it if it's going to be another one on traditional witchcraft or maybe a book on Satanism. I have quite a few traditional witchcraft books to present here to you and quite a few books on Satanism to present to you, both atheistic and theistic. So keep posted for Kindra's Corner. But until then, I bid you all now, darkest blessings under Lucifer's light. Ciao.